Hey, what's up, dudes, and possibly the one girl who's watching this. Um, Here at work, 9 p.m. about that. I gotta go home soon, but I'm just up here working late on my brand narrative for one of our clients, and it's got me thinking about stories, storytelling in particular, and how that relates to marketing and sales. It's kind of the buzzword now, so I thought I'd make a quick video to riff on that, give you some good ideas, particularly if you're interested in selling without selling and how to do it. All right, strap yourself in. It's going to get real. So, where to begin? A story. What is a story? Do you like stories? I can almost guarantee you do if you like movies, if you read books, if you watch TV shows, if you read the newspaper. We all love stories. It's how we evolved learning. Before there was written words, we spoke stories. We spoke in terms of stories. You think of huge brands, like a brand is kind of the story in your head when you think of a company or when you think of a place or a person. This is all stories. So what is a story? What are the essential components of a story? So you have your character or characters. The character has something they want and there's something stopping them. They're stopping them from getting it. That's a problem. There's internal problems and external problems. Let's see. An example of an external problem is, okay, let's just back up. I'm the character and I want to not be at work right now. I want to be living on a beach. The problem is I need money. So that's a external problem. I need more money. An internal problem might be I hate my boss. I don't like going to work. Yada yada. It's emotional. All these other internal problems. So you have that. The next step is a guide that comes to show you the way, or an action plan or something to get you from that state of being in the problem to on the course to the next part where you have to be. The guide gives you the plan, and they give you the most important part, a call to action. From the call to action, you have two choices. There's two paths. You can either go left, and you could fail on your quest. Just think of this, say it's story like the classic quest storyline. So you either fail or you could either win, but those are the essential parts of a story. Every single good story has them. But how do you relate that to marketing? The way you relate that to marketing is you make your customer the character. They have their own problems and they have the things that they want. You or your company is the guide. You give them the action plans, you give them the content, you give them the steps, you show them the way. And the call to action is getting them to buy your thing. And this is especially interesting because a lot of people don't like selling. And telling stories is one way that people can actually sell without selling. It's the closest you'll get to selling without selling. And when you hear people say that they don't like selling, what they really mean is they don't like pressuring people. I don't like it. When I was in selling door to door, that's one of the things that we were kind of like told to do. Just like keep trying to close. Think of like a car salesman or something like that. You think as a sleazy car salesman because they're trying to close you and push you and push you. But stories have a way of slipping past your defenses and basically getting you to persuade yourself, which is the ultimate form of persuasion, really. So with that said, if you're selling using the classic kind of sales formula, the problem, agitation, solution, what you want to add is just one more tiny component, is the either success or the failure. And a lot of people don't like they think this is kind of like pressuring people, and it is to talk about how your life will get worse if you don't buy this thing. Like lead them down the consequences of their life getting worse, and domino effects and chain reactions. What happens, like say if you don't go to the gym, you'll spend less time with your family because you'll be sick and you won't see them and yada yada yada. That's part of the story, but there's also talking about the success of what happens to the character once they buy. So it's like look at, imagine like your future, like when you don't have this problem anymore and you're all these other benefits, and it's kind of like taking negative consequences and showing how you get all these positive consequences of dominoes, like your life will be better here, 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 here. That's part of storytelling too. Because at the end of the day, what you have to realize is you can sell without selling, but when it comes down to selling, you have to, you have to just do it. It all comes like from a reframe that if you're not completely persuading someone to buy your thing, if you know it's good for them, you're a shitty person. And that means you have to, give them a huge promise in your story. Like, this is how fucking good your life is going to be, or we're going to take away pain, or like, you're going to get a girlfriend, whatever it is. You got to give them a ridiculous promise. I have this idea that I like to talk about. It's death by weak promises. And really, as a side note, all marketing really is the art of making promises and keeping them. So, boom, have a fucking big promise when you're selling something. Number two, when it comes to back to the story solution, fucking sell them on how shitty their life will be and give them a reason to act now. That's selling. Like, even if you're doing this whole storytelling thing, at the end of the day, you still have to sell them. People still need a push. So, to just kind of recap everything, storytelling is the way to sell without selling. And even selling without selling is kind of like a bullshit thing. It's not really, it's kind of bullshit. It's just, it's like a nice thought that people have, but you have to sell at the end of the day. Unless you're a fucking Apple. And even they had to sell. That's a bad excuse. Or a bad example. So, you have your storytelling. Parts of your story are your character, something they want, a problem they face, a guide that shows them the way, a call to action that they give the character, finally a result. It's either negative or positive. And as a side note, one thing you can do to kind of position your solution as the only one is to tell stories about your competitors, and instead of telling them how fucking good their life is after, tell them how shitty it is and how it doesn't work. That's something else you can do that's kind of sneaky. And yeah, you have your parts of your story, you have your ways to sell without selling, and then what's left is, just giving your fucking stories balls by promising something really big up front in the story, making sure they know why to act now, and telling them what the hell is going to happen to them if they don't do it. If you do all that in your stories, you're going to be good. All right? Let me know if you have any questions, and go tell some fucking stories. All right, bye.